Ready.
Set.
Gamecast.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to Ready Set Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and Christmas. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by Santa's favorite elf, Darian.
Yo!
And the Grinch who stole Teddy Chinaris.
And this is also Jerry the Christmas Beaver. I want everybody to welcome him to the show. He's a good guy.
Good guy, Jerry.
Okay. Welcome, Jerry, our fourth guest.
Yeah, he's going to be chilling here today. You know, he's off camera. You won't be able to see him unless he really has an opinion on something. But for now, I mean, just know that he's here with us.
I mean, I feel like my cat is a more active part of the podcast than that
It's
random
true.
ass
I mean,
beaver
there's
is.
more movement going on with the cat for sure.
You'll probably hear Darian coughing a bit because she's a bit under the weather. But another awesome episode. So, Teddy, what is your favorite thing about Christmas?
Dude, Christmas is fantastic. It's just like, here's... I'm dying. I'm also dying. Here's what I used to say about Christmas when I was younger. When I was younger, I would be like, because Christmas time, like December, it just felt like everybody was happier in general. Like everybody's just in a good mood because it's Christmas, you know? So I feel like everybody just generally is in a better mood. But other than that, presents. Because my sister and my brother-in-law and my parents are still pretty nice. It's pretty great.
What about you, Darian?
Oh, God, don't...
I'm very uncomfortable now. Thanks for asking.
Well, what's your favorite thing about Christmas?
Everything. As soon as Thanksgiving was over, I put on my first ugly sweater of the season. And then I went and bought some Christmas leggings and stuff. Because I love Christmas designs. We're gonna put stockings on the wall for all of our pets.
Nice.
I'm pretty excited.
Nice.
Are they getting Christmas presents?
Yeah, Marco's is already up. Don't tell him. He's in here. Don't tell him. I think he's sleeping. He's got a little toy in his stocking though.
Okay.
Already hung up.
Marco, there's a toy in your stocking. Go get it.
Oh, no, you spoiled the surprise. Jerry wants to know what your favorite thing about Christmas is, Bryce.
The fact that I get a paid holiday and can just sit around playing video games for a day.
Yeah, the fact that I get a break from school is very nice. I still work, but it's very nice that I don't have classes. Because I was wanting to die during finals week. That was not good.
Speaking of playing video games, Darian, what have you been playing?
You're never gonna guess. But I've been playing League of Legends.
Thought you were Heroes of the Storm player.
I'm actually a Dota 2 player.
Oh, okay.
She's chasing that money.
That makes sense. Okay.
And I'm playing Unknown's Battlegrounds.
Playing that Xbox One version, lol.
No, but I have a coworker that's like, he didn't know what the acronym was. He just knew it as PUBG. And so when I showed him a picture of it, like, oh yeah, it is available on Xbox. You can play it now. And I showed him a picture. He's like, oh, that's what PUBG is? I'm such an idiot. Like, I could have been playing this already.
That's funny.
He was heartbroken. But no, I haven't. No, nothing fun.
I hear it's rough.
Yeah, and you haven't hopped on the test server either, have you?
No.
That's surprising. I have friends that still play it, and they legit, like, they're like, don't even touch live. Like, only play on the test servers because it's apparently way better.
I have friends that are the same way.
I hopped on the test server, and it's got a bunch of UI updates. It's much smoother. It's got the new map, and I guess they added in the old map as well. And I guess the desert map has different guns and stuff. So it's the map you are on is going to change your gameplay greatly. I think people have said that there's like scopes are going to be more common on the desert map. which would be interesting. Which is actually super interesting because there's less things to hide behind in the desert. There's not like trees everywhere. It seems like there's more buildings in the desert, but it's gonna be really interesting. Official release is December 20th for 1.0 when all that's coming to the live version. So that's gonna be pretty close. But yeah, it looks like the 1.0 update is going to make things run a lot smoother and have a lot going on.
Good, because they kept, whenever I had friends that were pressuring me to play it, and I would play every now and then, it was like one day I would play, and I was getting like 80 frames, like all night, and then like a week later, I would play, and I'd be getting like 30, 40, and I was like, Jared, did they patch it? He's like, yeah, they did. I was like, God damn it. Go back to the other one. It was working better. Yeah. But yeah.
I've heard people getting like 100 frames, like easy.
PogChamp.
Yeah. New UI, like it's got a new loading screen. It's got a lot of updates that they really should have had for a while, but should be good. Anything else you've been playing, Darian?
No, it's been a pretty slow game. I've had a weird couple weeks, so I haven't been able to game as much, like in general. So.
Okay.
Oh, Jace, just kidding. I did write down another. I keep forgetting that I played it. Because I literally played it for like an hour on stream and was like, I can't fucking do this. Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, which is like the unofficial FNAF 6.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Sometimes people use acronyms for things that I'm not used to the acronym of. Like, oh man, what was it? Andrew Renee on Kind of Funny Games Daily kept calling The Last of Us T-Lou. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
No,
we didn't agree on this as a society, Andrea. All right. Anyways, so how was that game?
It was great.
Spoopy?
It started out super smooth. It was like an actual like pizzeria simulator, very fun, super chill. And then every night they bring you an animatronic to either salvage or throw back in the alley. And the first 2 nights, I was like, "Lo, this is a trap. I'm not salvaging these. I can't. Fuck you. I'm not doing that." But then the third night, there was one that, or no, maybe it was just the first night, and then the second night I did it. But I got to one, and I was like, well, I can't not scrap this one. Like, I need this one. She's pretty. So then I couldn't play anymore because she killed me twice.
Damn.
And I was just like, no, I can't. I'm not good at these games. And she's, no. So I had to quit.
Okay.
So I've been watching Markiplier play it.
So Teddy, it's been many years since we last saw you on this podcast.
I wasn't on 2 weeks ago, so last episode. So I went on my Twitch and like started thinking about it, and man, played a lot of video games. So I'm gonna try and do it real fast. Doki Doki Literature Club is a free game on Steam that it starts off like a regular visual novel type girl dating simulator thing, and then it takes a turn, and that's all I'm gonna say. You should play it, but you also shouldn't play it. I'm very conflicted on that game.
I have a question about it. So does it play like a visual novel where you don't make any decisions? Or can you make decisions and it'll change the game?
There's some decisions. There's not many, but there's some, yeah. Yeah, you should play it, but you also shouldn't play it. Star Wars Battlefront 2, I rented that because I got a free month of GameFly. So I was like, I'm just going to rent this and play the campaign because that's all I really wanted to do, even though I heard the campaign was not that great. But I disagree. A lot of people, well, I don't fully disagree, but I heard a lot of people saying that it was like garbage. Oh, they're like, oh, it's so bad, it's not worth it. I think it's worth it. It's definitely worth like renting and playing the campaign. It still connects. A lot of people were saying that like there's moments where you switch to like the movie characters and you move away from like the main characters like Iden Versio and her squad, but it connects and it all like there. It's not necessarily exactly like some studio exec came in and was like, oh, what about Luke Skywalker? Where's him? You know, it connects, but it's definitely not fantastic. It has some issues. The pacing has some issues, but like the story overall, like the campaign overall, I had a fun time. It was a good experience. Like the gameplay's fun as well. And I'm always playing WoW every now and then. Just so you guys know, in World of Warcraft every day, I've been logging on. I've been going to this farm. I've been farming these 4 things, like a literal farm, not like farming as in killing things over and over, but I was going to this literal farm. I was farming these 4 plots of soil every day, replanting them for a chance at an ominous seed, because once you get an ominous seed, you can then plant that seed, and then you can get a battle pet that's like one of the most useful battle pets in the game. So I was trying to do that for like a month, and then literally yesterday, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to check the auction house and see if it's any cheaper. Normally, it's like 4,000 gold on the auction house, so I was like, I'll just work for it. There was one pet available on the auction house for 800 gold. And that is pretty dang cheap in comparison. So I was like, I got to do it. So I bought it.
It's haunted.
It's haunted?
Yeah, you got a haunted pet. You won't know.
That's not good. I hope not. I hope not. But I'm happy. I got the pet. I'm kind of bummed that I feel like I gave up, you know, like I didn't actually work for it. I just bought it. But yeah. Also Worms, good old Worms Battlegrounds. I was been playing that because it was a free game on PS Plus in November, and I organized a tournament for it, and it was amazing. And it was great. It was great. You can look at the VOD on twitch.tv/TidyChinares, but I'm going to get that up on YouTube on like a fully condensed version eventually. One of these days. Also, Call of Duty World War II, that multiplayer is still a good amount of fun. And the winter event brought in Gun Game. And Gun Game's like one of my favorite game modes in Call of Duty. So that I've been playing some Gun Game on and off. Halo 5, because I'm always playing Halo 5 multiplayer when I'm trying to get friends to play with me, like Grunt and Cooker, but he's never around, so I can never play with him. Let's see. The Overwatch winter event is happening. That's been fun. I've played a couple of the Snowball and a couple of the Yeti things. The Yeti game mode's fun, but every Winston I go up against is very bad. And we beat them like very easily. I feel like I've played probably 2 or 3 hours of that game mode, and Winston has won like twice, and it's weird.
Is it just a 1v3 or like how does that work?
It's a 4v1, and it's like basically there's meat around the map, or it might be 5v1. I think it's 5v1. There's meat around the map that Winston has to pick up. He's dressed as a Yeti. It's like a Yeti hunt thing.
It's his skin,
Yeah. And he has to pick up 4 of the meats and eat them, and then he ults, and he's like on his ult for a timer. And once the timer runs out, then he goes back and has to do it again. But pretty much he has to kill, like, we have 5 team lives, and he has to kill any of the Mays 5 times, and then it's over. Or we have to kill him once. And yeah, there's 5 Mays. Twitch Prime gave away Super Hot the other day.
Oh, I'm so excited to play that.
I sat down, I downloaded it, and then I sat down and was like, I'll just play the first 2 levels of something for like 10 minutes. I only had like 20 minutes. And I played like as long as I could, because I was like, this is really good. Like, Super Hot is very good. I know I am a year late to that party, because that was a big conversation in 2016, but that's okay. Since we last talked, you and me, RSG audience, their Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris came out, so I've been playing that. Still haven't beaten the raid layer, because I still constantly, every night, get on and go, hey, is there enough people on my friends list, on my clan, online to do it? Like, is there enough people here? No. I plan in advance, say, hey, Tuesday, I make a PlayStation event, I invite 5 people. They all say yes. All 6 are like, yeah, we're gonna be there. We get on. There's still 2 people not there. I message them. I'm like, where you at? They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I fell asleep. Or like, oh, I'm out with my girlfriend. I forgot. It's very annoying. I want to beat this raid layer, but I think eventually I'm just gonna have to go to LFG off stream, and it very much annoys me. The Curse of Osiris is good, though. I like the raid layer that I have played. We've gotten close to beating it. So the raid layer itself is really, really good and really cool. Like, the boss itself is dope. And the Masterwork update, which came out a week after Curse of Osiris, is really good. and is a very good step in the right direction for Bungie. And I've been playing and really enjoying, counteractive to you guys' PUBG conversation earlier, Fortnite. Surprisingly enough, I do not like PUBG. I've played 30 hours of PUBG and I do not like it. But I had a lot of friends that were really into it. We're like, come on, let's play. And I was like, okay. It's not like I hate it, but I just didn't really love it. And
I had to quit the podcast.
hold on, but there was I was playing Call of Duty World War II with a friend, with 3 other friends, Jester, Grunt Cooker, and Fury, and they all 3 had Fortnite installed, and I had it installed as well. And I knew that Fury and Grunt really liked it and played it, and I was like, you know what, guys, I'll give it a shot, because I had it downloaded, but I hadn't opened it. I was like, I'll give it a shot. I'll play it with you guys as a squad. And we loaded in, and I won. We won our first game, and I got 3 kills. And I was like, wow, it's actually pretty cool. And then I played more, and I pretty much realized that the reason I like it is, 1, it's faster. It's just straight up faster. And 2, I actually feel somewhat competent in shooting. Whereas in PUBG, I've played 30 hours of PUBG. I've always sucked with mouse and keyboard, but PUBG is very much emphasizes that. In PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, if I see someone, even if I have an AR, they have an AR, medium distance, if we're medium distance, we see each other, I'm like, all right, time to start shooting. I'm gonna lose this, and then usually I do. And then but in Fortnite, if I see someone even at a relatively far distance and I have an AR, I have a controller that I've gamed with for 10 years, so I'm like, oh, and then I win a lot of the time. Most of the time when I lose are people doing crazy jump shots, building these crazy things, jumping off with snipers and all that. I'm like, oh, I can't do that. But yeah, I've been surprisingly liking it. I've technically only played probably, I don't know, 5 hours. I played an hour or 2 with squads and an hour or 2 another night. Then I played a couple hours solo just for fun, literally last night. So I've been liking it more and more. It's fun. So yeah, that's all that I've been playing that I can remember. When we check back next episode, there's going to be a good amount more. And maybe I will have beaten a video game. Because my goal is to beat a couple of games by the end of Christmas break. We'll see.
Teddy sucks at PUBG, that's why he doesn't like it.
Yup.
That's what I heard.
That's one of the reasons. For sure.
It's a learning curve. You gotta adjust.
It's true.
It took me 160 hours to feel confident. So
yeah, but at that point, are you having fun throughout those 160 hours?
Well, yeah, you goof around, you piss off your teammates and make everybody angry at you. It's pretty fun.
Sure. I don't know. PUBG is also just mainly the main reason that I think it was Bunny asked, because Bunny really likes PUBG. He was on the episode last week, if you guys don't know, Super Killer Bunny, or 2 weeks ago. He was talking about it, and he really loves PUBG, and I have been saying that I like Fortnite, and he's like, why? I just don't get it. And I was telling him, it's just faster. I don't know. There's a lot of times in PUBG where I drop in, and I get something, and, I don't see somebody for, 10, 15 minutes. I just don't see anybody. The game's over in 10 and 15 minutes in Fortnite, I feel like. They don't go super long. And I drop down. Most of the time there's people there, and I get in a fight. And if I don't get in a fight, I get in a fight in the next, 3 to 4 minutes, 2 to 3. I don't know. There's usually a lot more going on. It's well paced. The map is small enough the pacing's really good. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think the map on...
It's also just preference.
I think the map on Fortnite's smaller, so no matter where you drop, you're going to do it. Whereas if you want to get into a fight in PUBG, there's places you can drop. The military base, if you drop there, you'll be in a fight right away.
That's true.
Hey, I have a question. When you win a round in Fortnite, what is it called?
It just says Victory Royale. It's not as cool. Yeah, they needed to come up with something, and then they didn't. Maybe
no,
they
because
will.
if they came up with something close to chicken dinner, it's
true.
Okay, you couldn't rip off anymore. Come on.
Yeah, it just says in big. It's giant text. It's number 1 Victory Royale. So
see, that's kind of fun though. I bet that's really satisfying.
Yeah. And it stops. It freeze frames wherever you are. It's boom, and it's oh cool.
There's a whole thing with the like chicken dinners being associated with PUBG, which is really cool. Like, oh man, we won a lot. Let's go get an actual chicken dinner and thing. But like, let's go get a victory royale.
not a tangible thing you can really get.
Which reminds me, one of the things that is coming in the new update is kill cams to PUBG, and that's actually really cool to be able to see how you died, and it shows quite a bit before you actually get killed. So I think it's like 10 seconds before, like it's got maybe 5 seconds before you get killed and like 5 seconds after you, so you can see them getting the gun and or like, you know, coming up upon you and like the whole process, and then like a little bit after, so you can see how it all went down, which is really cool. Like,
so you can see when people are very clearly cheating because they get a headshot on you and your teammate who are across the room from each other. And sorry.
Yeah, I played and got killed early on. Watched the kill cam, and it showed the guy picking up the gun and finding and seeing me and shooting me with it, and then him kind of going back about his business. And I was like, oh, cool. I kind of got to see the whole like life story of how he killed me. I, unlike you cool kids, have only been playing one video game for the last couple weeks. Technically two, but as I said last week, I had been playing Dofus. Because I watched the Dofus anime and stuff and wanted to get back into that world. And my Verve subscription ran out, so I couldn't watch any more of Dofus, the anime show. But I still had Netflix, so I watched Wakfu and was watching that while playing Dofus. But apparently Dofus is free to play for a little bit, but then you have to subscribe to do additional stuff, because I kind of went through the tutorial area and did kind of stuff in the first city that you can do. But then once I got outside it, like, they were like, oh, go do this stuff. And then I'd get there and they'd be like, oh, you need to be a subscriber to do this. And I hit enough of those that I was like, okay, it seems like I can't do anything more without paying. But I heard that Wakfu was completely free to play, so I jumped over there. And it's like, I think it was built 5 years after Dofus, so it's definitely newer. It's more open, whereas as Dofus, everything was kind of divided into small squares, and you had to go like screen to screen, which was super like weird, especially compared to Wakfu, where you can just wander around the entire world. But so both Wakfu and Dofus are MMOs with tactics style combat. So when you go into a battle, you will select them to attack, and it'll give you like, you might be seeing like a single cat, but it'll be like, okay, here's the actual amount, or here's what you'll actually be fighting. And then you select your starting position based on their starting positions. And then it's all grid based of like, okay, you want to have them so far away so you can hit these moves and stuff. And it's a combat in an MMO that I've never seen before. There's only a few games that actually like do it. And those are like single player games. I'm trying to think isn't Disgaea one of them that does it?
I don't
makes me think of
Tactics, but I don't know.
Oh God,
Final Fantasy Tactics is for sure, right?
It makes me think of the Nintendo 3DS game.
Yeah,
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, Fire Emblem does it.
I'm all about it. I like Fire Emblem a lot.
So it's pretty cool. And the one thing I can't say if at a certain point it happens, but in Dofus, but in Wakfu you get companions. So when you are doing the combat, it's not just you doing the grid-based stuff by yourself. You can also have companions, and they'll be much weaker than you. But then you can kind of be like, okay, I'm an archer, so I'm going to work my distance stuff. I've got this kind of knight to kind of handle the close combat stuff, and you can work the environment a lot more. And I even ran a dungeon with a guy who was running 3 characters, and I was running 3 characters, so we were kind of like trying to play the field and kind of push guys around to use our spells. So it's really cool. It is completely free to play. They do have XP boosters and hero boosters. So some like small stuff that will just help you progress more, but there's no content locked behind gates. So it's very cool if you are into that.
I ask you this, Bryce, as somebody who doesn't watch that show, but I used to play a lot of MMOs and just like switch around, me and Eric, because like a lot of them were free to play and it was a good thing to like try out. Like back in the day when we didn't have money to buy new games, we would just like go around to different MMOs and like try out a bunch of new ones. So that was always fun. So I I came to really love like the MMO genre. Like I like seeing the differences and like what they do. I kind of want to check this out now, just for like a couple hours. Is it, as somebody who doesn't watch the show, would it still be at least decent?
Yeah, I think so the opening animation is so fucking pretty. It is basically they I think had the animators for the cartoon like do the animation, and I don't know, I assume all the cutscenes are done of full animation, and it was so cool. Because it has them like charging Ogress, which is like the final boss of the world, who's kind of messing up the world, and I guess each player is the chosen one who is I guess able to defeat Ogress, which is kind of funny that like, and I always find that funny in MMOs that like everyone is, in terms of the story, you're the chosen one, you're the greatest one, but everybody.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people don't like. I hear. Not 100%, because I'm not like super. I always say this, I'm not a hardcore WoW player. I'm a very casual WoW player, but I like to keep up with the community. A lot of people don't really love the later WoW expansions because it turns into that where it's like, you're the hero, you know? But in early WoW, it was pretty much like in vanilla, it was like you're just an adventurer. Like you're just a warrior out there, you know? You're not actually making too much of a change. You're just like fighting in the wars and stuff, but it changes later on, so yeah.
But yeah, they've got like, I think like 12 different classes. Each class is a race of people. They've got
like MMOs. You got me. God damn it.
Yeah, they've got Yops, who are kind of the fighter classes. They got Craws, who are your archers. They've got Thieves, who I only played a Thief in Dofus, but they kind of like, I think you can only really pull that off if you're playing with other people. Because they can throw down bombs, and then you kind of got to make sure the enemy is by the bomb when it goes off, or else you're just like, you know, it won't do anything. So you kind of got to kite them into the area, and then the bomb will do a lot of damage, but you just got to kind of play off the movements well. Yeah, so much different deals. And what's also really cool about Wakfu is that they're very like cultural. They pull a lot of cultural references. Early on in the main mission thing, you fight some bad guys, and then I don't know if you're supposed to lose the battle, or I did it with two characters. The first time I lost the battle and went down into the sewers. Second time I won the battle and still went down into the sewers. But down in the sewers, there's a swamp creature looking dude, and he's got a blue mask on his face. And his name is like Donatello, and it's like,
wow,
yeah, this is Donatello.
It should be purple then.
And
Donatello's purple.
And he asks you to make some pizzas. So it's nice. Like this straight up like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and there's other like small references like that too. So it's a really cool world.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, you should totally check it out. You can play on it and stuff. But we should get into the news.
We should.
So, there's a little bit of video game movie news that I think we should talk about. Darian, why don't you tell me a little bit about an actor called Ryan Reynolds? Have you ever heard of him?
Once or twice. Okay, well, Ryan Reynolds, everybody's favorite anti-hero. Or he plays everybody's favorite anti-hero.
Like himself.
Well, I mean, let's be real though. Like, let's be real. Like, Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds. Like,
it's true. I mean, have you like gone and looked at his Twitter? Do you follow him on Twitter?
Yeah,
he's amazing.
Yes, it's
great.
God, he's a genius. Anyway, he is also going to voice Detective Pikachu.
Yes, from the hit movie Detective Pikachu.
From the hit movie Detective Pikachu. Which
my God.
was kind of a meme for a while because a lot of people wanted Danny DeVito to do it, which I think would have been pretty great. But honestly, I'm very curious to see what they do with it now.
I'm just like, I don't trust this movie at all, like in any way, shape, or form. I don't know, man. A movie about Detective Pikachu?
That sounds super cute.
Detective Pikachu is a live action movie starring obviously an animated Pikachu.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm not sure what really he's detectiving.
Kid's
solving
dad
a murder,
gets kidnapped.
I guess. Oh, never mind.
A kid's dad gets kidnapped.
I can just imagine like Pikachu being like, "Yep, that's blood." Let me just like
Figured it out,
It's not
guys.
blood, no. He's getting like one of the kids, Justice Smith, his dad gets kidnapped. And then Pikachu has to find him.
Wait, hold up. Are you confirming that there are dads in the Pokemon universe right now?
there have been dads. We just
Here's the thing, that everyone's whole joke is that there's like a fan theory that I've heard this before, that there's a fan theory that like there was a war that like only the dads fought in, and like and it like caused like a dad genocide, and now all the moms are left alone in the Pokemon universe.
Yeah.
So there is a dad. Interesting.
Is there going to be other Pokemon? And also, will they be able to talk?
Well, this Pikachu is like that one Meowth that can talk when the rest of them can't. So this Pikachu is similar in that way. I don't know if they'll have other ones, but I don't think other Pokemon, if they're in it, will talk.
This is relatively random. Did you guys see the clip going around of the new movie where Pikachu talks? Of the new Pokemon movie? It's so funny because it's like,
I think it's fake because they haven't started.
No, it's real. No,
Yeah,
not
real.
this. Yeah, no, it's real. They did a Pokemon movie that was like the original Pokemon movie, but they replaced some of the other characters with like characters in the new game. I think Sun and Moon.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a while back.
Yeah, but there was a clip going around where it's like at a pivotal moment in the movie where Pikachu's like, "But I believe in you," or something like that. And there was a clip going around for a long time of like filming in the theater when that moment happened, and everybody was like, "What?" Like they were audible, like, "What the fuck?" It was hilarious.
From what I hear, that's a dream sequence, so it doesn't like actually count. But yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's not a straight video game adaptation, but it definitely has many video game elements. We got a new trailer for Ready Player One. So I just want to talk, like, people seem to, I guess there's people who have read the book and just don't kind of like it, but there are a lot of people who are just seeing the trailer and just like, this sucks. It's just a bunch of like pulp culture references and stuff. And
There is a lot of references in that trailer, though.
well, think about this. The Oasis is basically the internet for them. So look at Twitter. It is 90% pulp culture references. Even there's a VR game called VR Chat where you can create your own avatar, and half of the avatars are things like Overwatch characters and the stuff you would see in the trailer. You know, they're going to use, and I don't remember when this Ready Player One set. So this Overwatch characters and big Iron Giant and all that stuff would be very dated for them, but still, like...
There was also a Harley Quinn and a Joker in the trailer. I had to backtrack like 7 times. I was like, did I just see Harley Quinn? And like she was dancing with somebody, and I backtracked and I was like, and the Joker. Somebody's avatars are Harley Quinn and the Joker.
I thought it was Harley Quinn and Deadpool were together in that trailer.
Oh, it looked like Joker.
I don't know, man. Here's the thing. I haven't seen the most recent trailer, but I saw the first one, and I haven't read the book. So my opinions on the first trailer and hearing stuff about it, I go, Because I see movies every Sunday in the theater with Movie Pass, I might see it, but like, doesn't look that great from the first trailer. Just from the first trailer, it looks okay, and then it gets me worried because of the giant amount of references. Like, is somebody gonna watch this movie in 20 years and be like, what is any of this? What is any of this? Why are the? But yeah,
I mean, it is definitely like I listened to the audio. I listened to the audio novel by which was narrated by Will Wheaton, and like it is leaning on cultural references very heavily. A lot of like all of the puzzles and stuff that the kid has to solve are all solved in cultural reference ways. Like he has to play through a Dungeons and Dragons adventure to solve one of the puzzles, and he played freaking what's that game where the guy got the kill screen? They made a movie, King of Kong.
Oh yeah,
Donkey Kong. Like he had to play through that till he got a kill screen for one of the things. So it lays on the cultural references very heavily, but it's like it is a celebration of geek content. Like I don't think it's not going to like make anybody like cry or anything like that, but it's going to be something that like, hey, this is a movie about everything we love, and I don't know why people are so like against it.
I think they're just concerned it's not going to age well.
There's a lot of movies that people love that don't age well.
Yeah, I watched the Santa Claus last night, and
the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah, the CGI in that movie was so bad.
The original Santa Claus?
Yeah.
There's a game called Guacamelee that has all sorts of memes in it that are very old. That, like, when you look at that, you're like,
the troll
yeah,
face
that
memes?
was a meme. Like, I can't remember exactly the ones in Guacamelee, but, like, I remember playing it, and I didn't play it that much after it came out. I played it, like, 2 years after it came out or something, and I was like, oh, yeah, I remember that meme. And it's funny, like, when you play it when it comes out, and it's like, oh, it's funny, because it's, like, just a joke then, but
well,
later,
I think it's
like,
different with memes and with, like, video game stuff, I think.
Yeah,
like,
it's gonna.
I mean, the Iron Giant was like the '90s, right? Like we still recognize that. Like,
yeah, it's not as severe, but it's still a similar thing.
I don't think knowing memes is going to be that important to the plot. It's just you're going there is Overwatch characters in there, like for people who can recognize the characters. That's a little thing, but it's not leaning on, hey, you got to know about Overwatch to like this movie. It's just like.
Right. It's just little references. It's like when you watch Wreck-It Ralph and you see like Sonic in there and stuff. Yeah. Like Sonic's in the background, or like when you see just like a bunch of the little references in the background, like it's not important to the plot. They're just like, oh, cute, like, oh, that's fun.
Just to point it out, because it happened earlier, if you guys were curious if any of you heard that sound, my dog, I think, maybe had a nightmare, because she, like, just started growling towards the wall over there, and then, like, slowly stopped. And I was like, are you okay, Pepper? And now she's just, like, sleeping again, chilling, so hope she's okay.
My dog has nightmares sometimes.
Yeah.
He runs in his nightmares.
So, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I know other people aren't, but I will.
Well, they can deal with it, dude.
When does it come out?
They don't have to watch it.
Sometime. I don't know. I do not know.
Perfect. I'll have to read the book before
2018.
Listen to the audio version. Will Wheaton did a really good job. I can't buy the audio version. Don't you have Audible? Amazon Prime?
I have a bunch of free books from Audible because I have Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, if you sign up for Audible, and every time I sign up for like a free trial, so I've got a few books from that, but I don't have Audible. I can't buy Audible yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's a goal, but I can't.
I just, one weekend, I put that on my computer and just played Disney Infinity and Platinum Disney Infinity while listening to it. And it was very cool. Just like playing video games.
Wait, how did you play that? Disney Infinity?
Yeah, I played it on my PS4 while listening to
I thought they canceled that game.
They did. This was a
You
long
can
time
still
ago.
play it as well.
Yeah.
Can
It's
you?
just not supporting it. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's the
They're not putting out new toys, but you
Yeah.
can still play it.
Yeah, all the stuff
Pretty
still
sure.
works. All the disc content is still on the disc. They're not going to take that off. They broke into my house and took away the disc. And
Well, I don't know if there's like servers or something. I never got into
Yeah.
that game, so I don't really know how it works.
yeah. But it all works. I haven't touched it since since the game shut down, but
Because you were so depressed.
I mean, yeah, I have a lot of figures. Anyway, the Game Awards happened, and surprisingly, there was a lot of announcements that came out of that. First of all, we got an announcement of some re-releases. Bayonetta 1 and 2 will be coming to the Nintendo Switch.
It's a good announcement.
Yeah.
It's good for Switch owners.
Yeah.
I haven't played any of those games, so I'm excited.
2 was a Wii U exclusive. So it'll be nice that people actually get a chance to play that game because nobody owned a Wii U.
Mine is very dusty, sitting right there. I'm gonna sell it.
But we got a new game, Bayonetta 3, was also announced as a Switch exclusive.
That's why the first announcement is actually good. Because if you want to, you can play 1 and 2, and then 3 will come out. All for your Switch, your little Nintendo handheld console hybrid.
So it'll give people a chance to get caught up and try the new one. I have never played Bayonetta, but I hear great things.
I hear great things. Probably
People
not gonna
were
play it.
really stoked. People were super stoked when she came to Smash Bros.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. Pretty cool character. Good choice.
Devil May Cry, from what I understand.
No.
But with gun boots.
Gun boots.
Yes, boots that are guns.
She did have gun boots and her ankles
true.
collapsed. That hurt. That hurt.
Her ankles.
At the end of
collapsed?
it, at the end of the trailer, she's like walking on her boots and then her ankles like fall inward or whatever.
Jeez.
It looks like she like tripped on her high heels and I'm just like, oh god, that
Would be
hurts.
that's actually if that's true, if that's in one of the trailers, that's awesome because like the whole thing
she
is that
fades
she's
away.
fighting in them.
There's like a 30-second like it's like a 30-second thing, or it's a little more than that. But then at the end, no, it's the whole content is like 30 seconds. But like, yeah, she like falls forward, and then
That's
all
pretty
like
great.
it's part of the graphic, but she like falls forward, and then like parts come apart. It's fucking freaky, is what it is. It's horrifying.
For 3?
I'm dying.
It's pretty
like,
great though because the
Yeah.
whole point is that she fights in high heels and everybody's like that's ridiculous. No one could ever do that. So that's funny that they had her trip.
Well, but it doesn't actually show her tripping. It's just her legs falling, and it's really creepy. You can watch it. You probably feel satisfied.
Yeah.
You don't see her face though. Like it looks like she's
I don't have
falling
like
apart.
a fetish where I'm wanting to watch Bayonetta trip, okay? It
sounds
I'm
like
not,
it.
like craving for that. I'll be okay.
Okay. Now to some news about a bad video game called Fortnite.
Wow, we just going full on, okay.
Yeah. They got a.
I'm actually like this news is kind of exciting. It
pretty
it
cool.
makes me curious.
I played literally one game of it.
Well, Teddy, why don't you tell me about that thing?
They at the thing they were like Fortnite 50v50 mode, and it's out right now. And I played it, I think, either that night or like the next night when we were ending. We played a couple of squad games, and then I was like, all right, I got to get out of here. Let's play one of the 50v50. It must have been that night because I was getting off anyways. We were like, let's play it, and it was pretty cool. Like it makes it kind of confusing. Like I'm not sure, or it would be a lot to get used to, but it's pretty neat. I need to play more of it, but like honestly, it's cool. But it's one of those things where like I just now got kind of into Fortnite, so like I'm just kind of playing solo and squads, and when I have one other person on duos. So I don't know. It's cool though because it's also limited. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Like for the winter stuff.
Is only actually it is no longer available. Sorry about that,
It was
guys.
available
Nice
yesterday when I was
news.
It was
playing.
available from December 8th through December 17th.
Oh, rip. Today is
Hey.
December 17th.
You missed it.
Damn. All right.
Why are we talking about it then?
Well, I didn't notice the availability until.
Well, in that case, if that news story is gone and no longer relevant, here's just some updates on Fortnite, yo. They got a winter event going on right now. Season 2 started. See, you fucking Fortnite professional over here. You got an expert. Not really. Yeah, no, they started season 2 though, like a couple days ago or whatever, and they added for the winter stuff, there is like a snowball launcher, which is basically like a grenade launcher type thing where they explode. It's really cool. And that's just like in the map and whatever. I got killed by one once. So feels good.
Super cool.
And for season 2, they did this thing called Battle Pass where it's literally like $10, and when you buy the Battle Pass, you can either, like, you basically level up, and as you level up by playing, you unlock, like, at the different tiers, there's, like, new cosmetics, so you unlock them. So you buy the Battle Pass, but then you still have to play to get them, and I think that's pretty cool, and I bought the Battle Pass. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna be playing more of this, so it was $10, you know, and I'm through, like, level 4, I think, so I have, like, 4... well, sometimes the tiers have more than one cosmetic. But yeah, I have at least like 4 things. One of them was like a new emote and like new banners and stuff. It's pretty neat. And I'm pretty sure as well with the Battle Pass, I'm pretty sure that if you want, you also could pay to like advance. I would not, because that's dumb. But I'm pretty sure you can do that. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, Fortnite 50v50. Get wrecked, you missed it.
That's weird that it was so short.
Well,
Yeah.
I imagine it's probably intensive on their servers.
Yeah, and they wanted to just test it, I guess. You know?
Yeah, I imagine though it'll probably come back at some point.
Oh, yeah.
But that was the thing that happened, and Teddy apparently had thoughts about it that were not much. But the makers of Firewatch, Campo Santo, had a trailer for their new game. Darian, can you tell me what happened in that trailer?
So it's called In the Valley of the Gods, and it's based in like the 1920s, and you're a filmmaker, and from what I could tell from the trailer, you were like walking through the like the pyramids and the crypts and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the whole idea of it is you're a filmmaker trying to get some cool stuff for your movie.
Yeah, so in Firewatch, you take photos, and at the end of the game, it shows you what.
I haven't actually played it yet. No.
Well, you take photos. That's the thing. I imagine in this game, there's literally I've heard there's literally moments where you can like set down your camera and like choose to take to like film. Like wildlife around the area, and they like respond to it's AI, but like it knows that you're like filming it. So, yeah, and I don't know how that's gonna fully matter, but I totally could see them like at the end, like the finished documentary has like coupled in with like some of your own footage with like the main story stuff. So that would be pretty cool. They're basically like these 2 girls that don't really like each other very much, but like I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure the main premise of the story is that like 10 years ago, they made a documentary that was really successful, but then after then, they didn't really make anything else, and their career has been it has kind of run dry, and they heard about this thing that would be a good idea for a documentary, and they were like, all right, let's get together and try and do this, but they're not really like great friends or anything, but they were like, they're out there in Egypt trying to make a cool documentary to spark their career.
Based on my and Teddy's friendship.
Didn't know we made a documentary 10 years ago. That's crazy.
Yeah, you missed it.
And we're also women.
Well, they changed the like sex thing, and also
yeah, of course.
and also
And also the time frame.
yeah. Ours is 10 years from now. They put theirs 10 years. Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
Interesting.
It looks really cool. Like it looks Pixar-esque visuals. So
The music in the trailer was dope.
yeah. We also got a announcement of a re-release with some updates. The VR game Accounting is coming to PlayStation Plus, but now it's Accounting Plus because they have added additional content and areas to the game.
Wait, PSVR, right?
Yeah.
You said PlayStation Plus.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, is
too
it
many
gonna be
pluses.
free?
Accounting Plus is coming to PlayStation Plus.
I mean,
But
maybe
yeah,
there'll be a
PSVR.
discount or something. But
Possible.
Accounting originally came out on Vive for free. And it has the voice of Justin whatever
Roiland.
from
Roiland, yeah.
from Rick and Morty. Voices a couple characters. One very
Pretty sure this is also. I'm pretty sure he also like helped develop, right?
yeah, like he had a hand in the kind of the general thing. It definitely has a Rick and Morty.
Just the awkwardness of the lines in the preview or whatever, the trailer, like super very Rick and Morty.
Yeah, and I've got a Ready Said Gamecast exclusive for you guys.
Oh wow,
I
impressive.
Messaged the developer, the not Justin, the other guy, whose name I will find for you very quickly.
Ready Set Gamecast exclusive, yo.
But I asked
only place you can get this amount of professionalism.
William Pug. I don't know how to say his Pugh.
Sure.
Probably
Pug. Okay.
Pew.
And I asked him, is the content for the PlayStation VR version coming to the Vive? And the answer is yes. And it will also... so right now there's Accounting, which is a free version. The Accounting Plus will be a separate version, which will be paid. The PlayStation version is also paid, so it'll be... The Plus content will be paid. And there will be new stuff added to the original sections as well. So they'll have new areas as well as additional content in the original sections. So there's some Ready Set Gamecast exclusive about Accounting Plus. So if you've got a Vive, don't worry, you will also be able to play it. And if you just want to see the base content, it's free.
I'm so excited. I hear the game's cool.
It's a short little funny thing. There was a few sections that I honestly could not finish it myself because it's a little spooky in some areas. And I did not. I had to rip out a guy's heart.
And you're a wimp. That's what I'm hearing right now.
I had to rip out a guy's heart, and I didn't feel comfortable with that, so I just took off the headset.
I can't judge you because I couldn't play the pizza simulator because I got jump scared twice. So you know what? No judgment. Sometimes games get a little too spooky.
I'm the last person to judge that. I hate scary games so much. So much.
I don't like playing them. I like watching them, but playing them, I just like can't breathe. Everything is right there in my face. Oh my god.
Yeah, the VR horror is the worst because this like sense of presence. Because I played Duck Season, which is a freaking horror game, and I did not handle that well at all. I cannot believe I got through that entire game.
You played the whole thing?
Yeah, I did it on stream, so I think that was the only way that I could, like... I definitely took breaks several times. I was like, okay, I'm going to set it down. I need to remember that I'm not actually in that world, that there's not actually going to get murdered. But, frick, if there was a single noise in my house, if someone knocked on my door while I was playing that game, I would have, like, shit myself. There's a clip of the, like... And me dealing with the kind of... There's actually several endings to Duck Season. But there's a clip of me kind of facing off with the villain of Duck Season. And you can see me just like backing out of the camera view. Just like trying to run away while wearing the headset. So yeah, I don't handle horror VR very well. I could not do many horror VRs. But you know what is a VR game that's coming out that isn't horror? Vacation Simulator. From the makers of Job Simulator. We get to do vacations. Darian, tell me about that.
I think that's the whole thing.
That's
Okay.
it. It's Vacation Simulator. I hear Job Simulator is really good. If you liked it, play Vacation Simulator next door.
It seems
It's coming out.
like it's the same content except
Yeah.
you're in a.
You're on vacation.
Honestly,
You
I don't,
get to explore the whole island, though.
Wow.
I don't.
Is there like movement? Is there? Do we know?
We just got the trailer and it just kind of showed, hey, it's the robots and they're doing the robot thing again. So I don't even really understand
Them
what.
robots, man, out there doing robot things. It's crazy.
Job Simulator is a great thing to get people involved. Is their great first VR game because you can do lots of different things. You can mix things together and like the colors will change based on the colors of the stuff. You can just combine stuff in a bunch of different ways, and it's like cool of like you can interact with everything that you see. But once you've interacted with everything, it's just kind of like cool, I did it. So I think they will have to like definitely change some stuff up with Vacation Simulator to make it worthwhile, and I think this is the last simulator they can do. Because I think
we'll see. You never know. Maybe they put it out and it blows everybody out of the water.
Yeah, I think people love Job Simulator, but I don't think they like play Job Simulator for very long. So
Yeah.
Job Simulator is fun to play for like an hour, and then it's like, all right, I'm good.
Teddy, why don't you tell me about a game that we have heard about for a very long time, but finally got to find out what the heck it is?
It's a little game called Dreams. The trailer is more of the actual. There was a trailer at the Game Awards, and it was more of the actual like what the game is gonna be, not like the creation tools. And it looks pretty good. I heard more about this on Podcast Beyond because they talked about the actual like they had a hands-on demo that they went and did, and the actual gameplay and whatnot, and like talking to the devs and whatnot. So the studio themselves, Media Molecule, said that the entire bit of the campaign was developed in the Dreams creation tools, which is cool. And the creation tools seem really, really extensive. Like you can make music videos where like certain parts of the music start and certain things when you go past certain areas and whatnot. And I don't know, the trailer itself looked good because it looked like a game that I can just play. So I'm excited about it. I'm glad we saw the trailer.
It seems like it's Little Big Planet, but like instead of it being all like toy-ish and all of that, it's just straight game. Like I saw them building kind of mountains, laying out mountains, and it was like, those look like mountains. Those don't look like toys or felt or anything. Those are straight mountains.
The art style is definitely a little kind of like creepy and weird, but yeah it's not. Yeah,
definitely. It's the campaign section does look kind of creepy, and I imagine that like what you'll be able to build in the creator is a lot more than that, and it might be just we're looking at one section of the game. They might go from like a creepy world to a happy world to a winter world and all sorts of stuff, kind of like Little Big Planet does. We've heard about Dreams. We didn't really know what Dreams is, and now we saw it, and it looks cool. I want to play that game. Another game that we have seen a lot of, but still have no effing idea what's going on. This little game called Death Stranding.
Oh my god,
Teddy.
So how many times has that game changed?
It hasn't
changed. We haven't seen gameplay ever.
We've seen 3 trailers.
We've seen 3 trailers now.
Yeah, they've all been very weird.
No, because like originally, because this is still the Hideo Kojima project, right?
Yes.
So like first it was the Silent Hills, which they scrapped and canceled.
Different, completely different thing.
It's completely different?
Completely different thing. This is a new game.
Okay, so here's Hideo Kojima made Metal Gear as part of Konami, and he was supposed to make Silent Hills with Guillermo del Toro, and then Konami decided, you know what, we don't like video games anymore. So
not really, but yeah, kind of.
Yeah, Hideo Kojima got fired.
Yes.
Did he get fired or quit?
He got fired.
Okay, so he got.
I'm pretty sure.
I think he quit
that
because
the
they
whole
scrapped
thing-
his game.
Yeah, well, I think technically he probably quit because I mean he finished Metal Gear Solid 5 and then left. But yeah, it was like bad blood.
So the Silent Hills got canceled, and then the Konami and Kojima went separate ways, and then like Sony gave Kojima.
Oh, he did get fired.
Did he?
Sony gave
Tsunami.
Sony gave him his own studio, and basically right away, like he announced, Death Stranding is the game I'm making, and we have been seeing this game since the moment it was announced, and this game is probably very long ways out, but we have been seeing trailers for it, and
So that's the creepy one that a couple years back at like E3, it was like a baby in the trailer and
there's
stuff.
been babies in all of the trailers,
Yes.
and the
Yeah,
guy
the baby.
from
It's the same baby, just so you know.
the guy from Walking Dead is in it.
Norman Reedus.
Yes. People, I guess, are getting a vague understanding of what the game's gonna be now. Apparently, the bad guys are invisible because they are like in another dimension that is kind of like slightly overlapping in ours, and I guess they can take over people's bodies or something.
We don't fully know, man.
Yeah.
We don't know anything. We can guess from this trailer, but
And then babies are a thing that I guess
Babies.
baby giving a thumbs up, bro.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
What?
All right, okay. This
Okay,
Death Stranding looks really fucking weird. Okay, I have one friend who is very, who is a Kojima fanboy. Not really fanboy, but like really, really loves Metal Gear Solid and like loves Kojima. And even he, by this one, like the first two trailers he saw and was like, "Oh my god, that was so amazing! I need to like dissect it." This one he saw and was like, "It's all right. I don't know what's happening anymore. Come on!" Like the trailer is like kind of okay, still kind of weird when it starts off, and it's like, okay, I'm sort of kind of getting this, and the moment where it takes a turn where I'm like, all right, looks like another Death Stranding trailer, is when Norman Reedus is like chilling. I think he's like laying down or something at a moment. I don't know, but it like the camera goes into his mouth, it goes down into his body, and then there's a baby, and he gives a little thumbs up, and then it zooms out. And I'm like, what? Is Norman Reedus pregnant? I don't know. So yeah. Death Stranding. No one knows what it is. See you in 2020.
It seems like after the trailer, they're like, I haven't cared about the trailers. It's just like, oh, I don't know what this is, so I don't really care. But information has been coming out, and it's so
He's had some interviews, but yeah.
The one thing I heard that sounds kind of interesting is that when you die, you apparently go into kind of the other dimension, and that's kind of a separate game section, and then you have to go back to your body.
Yeah,
But-
it's not like respawning. It's not like game over respawning.
It's kind of like World of Warcraft, where you kind of go back to your body, and there's apparently stuff to do in that kind of like afterlife section. So I think this is the first game, a single player game, that has had you kind of have to go back to your body.
I don't know. I'm sure there's been some, but I can't name them off the top of my head.
Yeah, we still have very, very little details. So we'll find out more in probably 2 years when it might be close to
Or
release.
next Game Awards when we get another weird trailer.
Well, trailers ain't giving us much, but if Kojima
Yes.
decides to do more interviews, we might hear more. One more announcement out of the Game Awards is a game called Witchfire, which is from the makers of The Vanishing of Ethan Carter and Bulletstorm.
This is one of my favorite parts of the entire Game Awards, this trailer. It was so cool because it starts off and you're like, what? Okay, what is this? And then it slowly becomes clear. I'm like, all right, this is a walking simulator. All right. And it's like from the makers of Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I'm like, okay, walking simulator. And then it's like all of a sudden, I don't remember exactly what happens, but in the trailer, I'm pretty sure he like pulls out a gun and like shoots something. And then it's like, and also bullet storm. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. You lost me, then you got me back. What's going on here? And then it just goes on. There's like crazy fights with guns.
It almost like gives me a vibe of like a first person Bloodborne. It kind of has that like Renaissance-y, like otherworldly feel to it, but then you're straight up like guns, shooting them and fighting them. So it looks super pretty, and like the combat is gonna be super satisfying.
Yeah.
So there was a few other small Game Awards announcements. Soul Calibur. I don't really care about that. If you're into that, I'm sure you probably already know. And then we got not really much out of PlayStation Expo, which was like
PlayStation Experience.
Experience?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it?
That's what PSX is for, I'm pretty sure.
And that was like the day after the Game Awards. It started.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that I think really matters is that a Sony executive said that we will be able to change our PSN names within the year.
That's not the exact what happened. But
okay.
Yeah.
PlayStation exec hints that will like same day.
For sure.
Oh my god.
Greg Miller was interviewing Sean Layton, and he was like, come on with these PSN names. And he was pretty much like, let's see, I want to find the exact quote, but I'm pretty sure he said, yeah, this is it. I hope we'll see events occur that you won't have to ask me that question next PSX. So they've been
so
working on
great.
it for so long, but
why is it so hard?
Now it's coming to fruition because the PSN was made with duct tape and staples.
I mean, if you want that like actual probably explanation is so when you create your account, instead of them being like, okay, your account in the system, your ID is actually like a series of numbers, and then like what actually is shown is the name you pick. So you can change that name, but the actual series of numbers isn't affected. You can just say series of numbers equals this name. But when PlayStation made their stuff, they just said the account is Darian. That is the name. So they have to go through and basically rewrite it so that they have to change the way the naming system or the accounting system actually names things and rework all of that. I'm sure that's taken a long time. If they probably had killed the PlayStation network when they switched from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, they probably could have done it easy, but they kept that around, and it's probably caused a lot of issues.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept it, though, because, still have games and trophies.
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff, like, on the PlayStation 3 that
I keep
not
my
on
trophies,
the PlayStation
dog.
4. But I made my PlayStation account, like 7 years ago. It was completely not a name I want to go by anymore.
I pretty much have my gamer tag on everything is the one on my PSN because I can't change it, and I'm just like, all right, I'm owning up to it. But once that happens, I'm just gonna be like Teddy Chinaris on everything. If I can.
I'll just update mine.
If I remember correctly, when Xbox went from original Xbox to 360, they killed off the old network. So that allowed them
Yeah,
to.
but the original Xbox network was like nothing. It was very limited. It was not like that compared to Xbox Live was a lot different. But
yeah. I mean,
PSN was a lot more fully formed.
Yeah. So the fact that it's coming, like, I'm sure they've been working on it since the PS4 came out, but that they basically have to redo their entire infrastructure. to like change that whole coding system. So that has been the news for the last couple weeks. Let's get into the topic of the show, which is the Video Game Awards.
Just the Game Awards.
The Video Game Awards.
The Video Game Awards is what was on Spike TV. This is the Game Awards.
Well, it's not like they're talking about the winner.
It's true.
The winner
It's
of Game
true.
of the Year is Hopscotch.
It's pretty much Video Game Awards. I just find that, like, I don't know. It's called the Game Awards.
Maybe Spike
So-
owns the Video Game Awards.
It's very possible that they do.
So Teddy, what would you like to say about?
Chat. We're gonna go over who won what. All right, best Chinese game. We don't know any of these. We're gonna go from bottom to top, just so you're all clear. So we can talk about Game of the Year last. Best debut indie game presented by Chic Hydro. I'm bummed the Chic Hydro bot was not there. The nominations were Cuphead, Slime Rancher, Mr. Shifty, Hollow Knight, and Golf Story. I'm pretty sure I predicted that Hollow Knight was going to get this one because I figured Cuphead would get a bunch of wins in all the other places, but Cuphead won.
Yeah, I knew Cuphead would win of the options. Like Cuphead was in the running for Game of the Year, correct?
Yeah, no. Not here.
Wasn't?
No, not here.
But it definitely was very good. Like it's crazy that was the first game that they've ever made, and people are in love with it.
Best esports team. This is something that Darian absolutely probably has an opinion on. Well, I don't know about that, but maybe Cloud9, Team Liquid, SK Telecom won, Lunatic High, or FaZe Clan. Who do you think won that, Darian?
Well, I can see who won that.
well,
It's not
rip.
who I would have expected, though.
Yeah, who would you have expected?
SKT won.
That's what one of my friends said when we were like streaming this on twitch.tv/TeddyShenares. When we were chilling before it and like making predictions, he said that, and I was like, but everyone forgets they lost Worlds.
Yeah, but they've won a few of them.
It's true, but they were on the Game Awards last year. Like, don't give it
just
to
find
them
it
when
weird
they
that-
lose.
Like, weird that Cloud9 won, but I think...
Well, Cloud9
because
has
SKT1 is like a Korean team, isn't it?
Yeah. Cloud9
So-
has teams in a lot of different games. SKT is, I'm pretty sure, just League in Korea, So, and this was a fan vote, so yeah, they might have other games, but I only am aware of their League team. And then best esports player, Faker, Kuro, who is a Dota 2 player, Jihong Ryu, who is an Overwatch player, Nicola, I don't know, Nikola Kovac or Nico, FaZe Clan, Counter-Strike Go, Marcelo, David, SK Gaming, and Counter-Strike Go. Yeah, so SK.
I like how you're using their like real names, not their like
gamer
names.
meant
Their
to do.
tags
I
that
meant to do
everybody
that.
knows them by.
So that's Faker, Kuroki.
Yeah, I
I
think
guess it's-
Kuroki.
Ryu Jihong, which is pretty much his name in gamertag, and then Nico, and then Cold Zera.
Yeah, it's his
Those
last
are all
name
their
and then
names.
his first name.
Yeah, it's mixed. But yeah, Faker won this one. Who would have guessed?
I voted
Yeah.
for Faker. Just I don't know. I just picked one. I don't know any of these people.
Congrats, you won.
Oh my god.
What?
I haven't looked at any of the stuff for the Game Awards.
Okay.
We'll get there. Best esports game. This is also another fan voted one. Overwatch, Rocket League, League of Legends, Dota 2, Counter-Strike, Global Offensive. I figured Overwatch would win,
Yeah.
and they did.
That was
So
They're
is this
doing
in
a lot
like
of good
order
stuff.
of... Is this in order of votes they received, or is it
No,
just
it's
like
just-
the
just
nominees
random.
and then the winner?
Yeah,
yeah. I don't think this is based on votes.
it's the nominees and then whoever won. Trending gamer, Dr. Disrespect, Steven Spawn from Able Gamers, Shroud, Clint Lexa, aka Half Coordinated. That's the only one that I'm not familiar with at all. And Andrea Renee from What's Good Games or Kind of Funny Games Daily. Dr. Disrespect won. Surprise, surprise.
If it
for no one.
was now, I think it would have gone different.
think Steven or Andrea would have won if it had gone now. But
Supposedly Andrea said it was pretty close. So
really, oh man. Best student game. We're probably gonna skip this one, but shout out to Level Squared for winning. I'm not gonna read the other nominations because we don't
why
know them.
isn't Club Penguin rewritten in there?
Oh my god!
Because it's not a student game.
It got canceled.
Club Penguin rewritten is
Yeah,
canceled.
Disney took legal action and they took the domain name.
Oh, F you,
They shut the thing down. Yeah,
That's rude.
I was following it on change.org.
Damn. I mean, they have all the right because it was pretty much the same game, but.
I do like when the guy came up to accept the award. Like, he was like 40-ish. He looked like pretty old, and he was like, "I graduated in a month. Please hire me."
Yep, that was good. Best independent game nominees: Cuphead, Pyre, Night in the Woods, What Remains of Edith Finch, or Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I figured Cuphead would win here, and it did.
I can't remember. I think I voted Hellblade because I knew people really loved Hellblade.
Yeah, people really like Hellblade. Most anticipated game. This is definitely fan voted because it's like kind of a dumb category. The Last of Us Part 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, Monster Hunter World, Marvel's Spider-Man. Kind of weird to put that. God of War. The Last of Us Part 2 won, and that's the one that I figured would win.
I'm surprised that Red Dead Redemption didn't win.
I thought it was either going to be Last of Us or Red Dead, like one of those two.
I don't think we've seen enough of Red Dead Redemption to
yeah, but
be excited
everybody's
about
just
it.
got a big old hard on for Rockstar.
Yeah.
You know? So. Let's see here. Best multiplayer. So that's the end of all the fan voted stuff. Which, fun fact, the other games are actually like I heard this after the Game Awards. The other, like, the rest of these are going to be the jury, but the jury is based of 51 different outlets, and they put forth like their nominations and their winners and whatnot. But it's actually 90% the jury and 10% audience vote.
Yeah, I heard it was weighed by the audience vote.
So best multiplayer, this one was funny because it was literally in an article the next day because they forgot to say it on the show. So the nominees are PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Fortnite, Call of Duty World War II, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or Destiny 2, and PUBG won. Spoilers, this is the only award PUBG got that night. So yeah,
I mean,
but congrats, PUBG.
He was probably going to say it, but somebody was a little jet lagged and distracted him. So.
Oh my gosh, a little jet lagged. Fuck the Oscars, am I right? Best sports/racing game: Forza Motorsport 7, Project Cars 2, Pro Evolution Soccer 2018, NBA 2K18, GT Sport, or FIFA 18, and Forza Motorsport 7 won.
And it's so weird
Which
that
didn't surprise me.
A soccer game and a like racing game are like competing against each other.
Yeah, it's a little. There's 3 racing games here, and then like 2 soccer games, and then 1 basketball game.
I don't think Darian is familiar with the Fuck the Oscar guy, and I imagine she's just Googling Fuck the Oscars right now.
Yes, you are. Congratulations. It's going to be a treat when you see it. Best strategy game: Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, Tooth and Tail, Total War Warhammer 2, or Halo Wars 2. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle was the winner. I figured it was going to be either that or XCOM, and I wanted Halo Wars because Halo Wars was the only of those that I had played, and I enjoyed it.
Honestly, I'm a little surprised that Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle won because I heard that like it gets old after a few worlds. But I guess if you,
I don't know. I just heard people really liked it. That's all I really heard. To be honest, that's surprising.
I heard people got burnt out after a bit, but I think when you're like any strategy game, you're either gonna like really love or bounce off of. And I think Mario Kingdom Battle's got a lot more people in that aren't strategy fans to try it out. So
yeah, for sure. Best family game: Super Mario Odyssey 2. I almost said Mario Odyssey 2. Splatoon 2, Sonic Mania, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Super Mario Odyssey won.
No surprise.
No surprise. Also, I just realized that technically, when I'm reading these, I'm reading the winner first on every one. So I'm going to read it in a random order
I was going to say something.
Is this going to throw me off? Yes, but we're gonna try. Best fighting game: Tekken 7, ARMS, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Nidhogg 2, or Injustice 2. Who would you guess before knowing the winner? Like,
I mean, we all see the winners too. So.
I know, but like, who did you guess?
I went Injustice 2 just because it was the only one I played.
And I don't see a world where Injustice 2 didn't take that home. Like, Injustice 2 did very, very, very good, and a lot of people really like it. And yeah, they do great. NetherRealm does good work over there.
I think they managed to do a story in a fighting game best ever.
Yeah. I feel like I probably enjoyed the story in the first one more, but the second one was still good. Best role-playing game, Nier Automata, which that from the this is a random sidebar. From the majority of people that I've heard talk about that game, that's how you say that name, Nier Automata, right? But I've heard one person I've heard one person who it's like their favorite game of the year, and they say Automata. I'm like, you know this game. You've heard people talk about it, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that's not it. But I don't know. Final Fantasy 15, which is the only category that was nominated in, it came out just too late to be nominated for the Game Awards last year. So, Divinity Original Sin 2, Persona 5, and South Park: The Fractured But Whole. And I'm very happy to announce, ladies and gentlemen, that Persona 5 won that award. Woo! Let's go.
I heard people really like Divinity, so I'm surprised.
Divinity Original Sin 2 is very good, but it is a real nerdy-ass PC game that requires even more time than Persona. So, yeah.
I wonder, like, how many people voted...
It's very good, though. I played it.
For, like, just, like, they didn't play them all so that, like...
Well, you, as the jury, you're allowed to abstain from from pretty much anything, but yeah.
All right.
If they didn't play enough of it, they'd probably be like, eh. But best action/adventure game: Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, Horizon Zero Dawn, Assassin's Creed Origins, Super Mario Odyssey, or The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Who do you think won?
It's always the last one Teddy reads now.
Yeah, he switched. He switched to the last one. He reads all the other ones in a random order.
I did the last one.
And then...
I have done it where the last one is the winner twice, but on another one, I did it where it was in the middle, okay? You know, I'm switching it up. They don't know. This is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I wanted this to be literally anything else. No, I wanted it to be either Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, or Horizon. Not really Zelda, but that's okay.
That's weird. Right. This is a weird bunch of games. This must have been a slow year for the action-adventure game.
These are all amazing games.
Yeah, they're all...
Oh, yeah. No, they are, but it's like... When I think an action-adventure game, the first thing I think of is Super Mario Odyssey. Like,
yeah, 100%. I feel like that's the only one that's a little odd for that
Odyssey
one.
Is a platformer, not a action or adventure.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
And I mean, Legend of Zelda,
Legend of Zelda would have belonged more in the role-playing game.
Yeah, it's kind of... I feel like
category.
Legend of Zelda is kind of its own category.
No,
like,
Zelda is an action-adventure. It's not role-playing.
I don't know. I mean, it is. I would have rather had that in the RPG. It's very much a role-playing game. More so now than it used to be with Breath of the Wild. And then best action game: Prey, Wolfenstein 2, Neo, Cuphead, and Destiny 2. Best action game, I think on this one I predicted actually Wolfenstein 2, and Wolfenstein 2 was the winner. These are all really good games, and I'm glad they all got nominated.
Except Destiny 2.
Fight me. Fight. Best VR/AR game. This one doesn't really surprise me with who won, to be honest. Farpoint, Star Trek Bridge Crew, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, Super Hot VR, Lone Echo/Echo Arena. On this one, I was like, Resident Evil 7 absolutely wins this one, and then it did.
I think it won because it was the first full game.
Yeah, it's
on
a
it.
very full like experience.
Yeah.
You can sit through and play the entire game, and it's a full thing.
I hear Super Hot VR is amazing. It's basically Super Hot but in VR. So
Yeah, I
feel like that would bring it to the
win.
next level. Because that game is so good, but like when you're actually in it, like, oh my god, I can only imagine how cool that would be.
I said that one wasn't gonna win because that had actually come out like a lot earlier. Like that wasn't just this year. That's been a while. So, let's see here. Best handheld game: all Nintendo 3DS games. Metroid: Samus Returns, Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadow of Valentia, Ever Oasis, Monster Hunter Stories, Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. Metroid: Samus Returns won that one, and I didn't play any of these. I also predicted Metroid because I heard a lot of people who really like that one.
I wonder when the handheld and the mobile thing are just going to become one category, especially because
if they're ever going to allow Switch games into the handheld category.
Yeah,
because
that's
Switch is technically a handheld.
Probably not.
So it's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. Next year, if there's a good amount of 3DS games, they'll probably do it again, but we'll see. And then after that is best mobile game. Fire Emblem Heroes, Hidden Folks, Monument Valley 2, Super Mario Run, and Old Man's Journey. This one, I really wanted Fire Emblem Heroes to win, but it did not. Process of elimination.
Fire Emblem Heroes was pay to win.
I mean, it's not really like a multiplayer thing.
I mean, it's got loot crate type stuff.
Yes.
So
not really like PvPing anybody
well,
though.
Still, like,
I've played Fire Emblem Heroes for like 20 hours. I've never I don't even think that's a thing you can do. You can face other people's teams, but like you're not facing them, you're facing their teams. And
I mean, but you can pay to win the single player. You can get it's all about getting better cards, so it's
I mean, yeah. It's very much a card game. It's also you can also enjoy it because you're not like facing other people and you're playing the single player, so you're not like forced to pay. You know what I mean? Like I played like 20 hours and I never paid anything.
Yeah, but you love grinding, so
I do. That's why I liked it.
Yeah. Monument Valley is just a straight up puzzle thing, so there's nothing. You buy the game, you get the game. There's no
Monument Valley 2 is the winner. I had a couple of friends really want Super Mario Run to win because they really like that. But yeah, I played a surprising amount of Fire Emblem Heroes. I don't like play mobile games, but I like that game. Best ongoing game. I will say that I'm bummed at who won. It's deserved, but I'm bummed at it. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Grand Theft Auto Online, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, Warframe, and Destiny 2. I personally thought Warframe really deserved this one because Digital Extremes does a fantastic job with their community and constantly adding new content, but they did not win. All right, so what did you guys want to win in the best ongoing game, or did you have a preference?
Well, I feel like Overwatch and PUBG don't really belong in there.
Really? Why?
I mean, like, it just seems weird to me because, like, by that logic, like, Dota and League should be in there too because, like, they're constantly updating and patching. Like, I don't know. It feels weird. It feels like a more story-based game should be in there. Like, I don't really know much about Grand Theft Auto Online.
This is ongoing games.
For best ongoing game?
These are all competitive.
Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time.
Well, yeah, but, like, I mean, League does that. They just did another overhaul to
It's
do
just,
that.
it's
like,
jury voted.
It's
I don't
weird.
Well, I don't know how they did come up with the nominees.
They nominate. It's jury nominated.
Okay, so the jury decides the
each outlet puts forth their nominations.
I don't know. I just find some of them weird because it's like you're releasing patches and that's great, but like ongoing feels like story to me, like which I feel like Destiny would fit in.
That.
Well, Destiny does that, doesn't it?
Adding modes and content and stuff that changes the gameplay.
That evolves the player experience over time. Overwatch is the winner, and they totally deserve it. I was just bummed because they got Game of the Year last year, and they got all sorts of great praise, and they deserve it. I just wanted Warframe to get credit for, like, if Warframe is doing anything right, it's talking to their community, releasing new updates. Like, they're great at being the best ongoing game, but Yeah, Overwatch 1. And they deserve it too. They've been doing good. They always put out new events, new skins, new game modes, all sorts of stuff. So, all right, next category is Games for Impact. We have Night in the Woods, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Bury Me, My Love, What Remains of Edith Finch, Life is Strange Before the Storm, and my favorite name of a game, Please Knock on My Door.
I've played What Remains of Edith Finch. I've heard of Night in the Woods. I've heard of Hellblade. I know of Life is Strange. I played a little bit of the original. I don't really understand, know what the deal with that is. What Remains of Edith Finch didn't. So it's Games for Impact, for a thought-provoking game with a profound pro-social meaning or message. I don't think What Remains of Edith Finch had that. It was a very cool narrative story, but it didn't really have a pro-social message. I picked Hellblade because from my understanding what the game's about, it totally does have that pro-social message. So
yeah, I have not played any of these.
Same.
But I've heard of almost all of them except for Bury Me, My Love, and Please Knock on My Door. I haven't heard of those two. But Hellblade 1. And I am not surprised about that at all, to be honest. I kind of figured it would either be that or just from hearing. I figured a lot of people love Life is Strange, but I don't know if it has a really an impact. But Hellblade is literally about mental health, so yeah. Best performance. Let's do. Okay, so Ashley Birch, who plays Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn. Claudia Black, who plays Chloe Fraser in Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Brian Bloom, who plays BJ Blazkowicz in Wolfenstein 2. Melina, I believe they said it was Jurgens, who plays Senua in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. And Laura Bailey, who plays Nadine Ross in Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. I really wanted Claudia Black to win, but she did not, and it makes me sad.
Can we just talk about Melina's picture that they used for
it's an interesting picture.
Everyone has kind of very
headshot,
modeled photos, and hers is a selfie from her doing the mocap.
Yeah, and it's very close. It makes me uncomfortable.
At the Game Awards, she was wearing a mocap outfit.
That was pretty great.
So I did not expect her to win, but
I totally could. I didn't predict it, but makes sense. I mean, she's literally not an actor. She is a video editor at that studio, and they were like, hey, do you want to try for this? And then she got it, and she did great. So, yeah, I totally see why she won that. But I just was really hoping Claudia Black would get it because she carried literally an entire game on her own when it comes to performance. The supporting cast did great, but, it's about Chloe. The whole game's about Chloe, so. Let's see here. Best audio design. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Destiny 2, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Super Mario Odyssey, or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I really wanted Destiny 2 to win this one, because I think if there's anything that Destiny 2 actually deserves an award in, is audio design, because they are incredible at it.
I understand. I have not played Resident Evil, and the audio for Super Mario Odyssey had a couple cool songs. Nothing really blew me away. And
yeah, and Zelda is a lot of silence, and I don't know.
Hellblade ended up winning, and from my understanding, that audio, everybody's you need to play it with headphones. Because
the game starts off and tells you to play in headphones.
Yeah, so they definitely put a lot of thought into the audio experience.
Yeah, there's voices that are completely directional that literally takes place of the HUD. Instead of saying there's an attack coming from the front with a flashing thing, it's literally behind you. The voices whisper. It's creepy. Yeah, so Hellblade won, and that's well deserved. But Destiny 2, I was a bit bummed about because they do some crazy shit to have those gun sounds. Some of the exotics sound crazy. Let's see here. Best score / music. This is also one I wanted to go to Destiny 2 because sound design, soundtrack, pretty similar enough. They do great with their sound design, and their soundtrack was very good. Destiny 2, Cuphead, Persona 5, Nier Automata, Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I wanted this to either go to Destiny 2 or Persona, and Cuphead also could totally. I think I predicted Cuphead. I think that's what I predicted.
It's got a cool soundtrack. It definitely they
the music is pretty great. Like the opening music is great, and then like the King Dice is pretty cool. Nier Automata won this one, which Nier is like one of the games that is really big and I hear a ton about this year that I haven't played. There's a lot of them that I haven't played, but like Nier is the one that I haven't played and also just haven't seen like gameplay on, or like, because people that really like it don't want to say anything about it other than it's fantastic and you need to play it. So like I just don't hear too much, but so I couldn't have predicted that one not having played, but that one best score in music. And then best art direction, this is a pretty solid winner here. Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Cuphead, or Destiny 2. I wanted Persona 5 to win, but Cuphead won, and I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, everybody talks about how pretty Cuphead is. Like, they hand drew all of that game. They put a lot of thought into the art, so it totally makes sense that they won.
It's also art direction, you know, so it's like their choice in like what they're gonna do. So
for outstanding creative and technical achievement in artistic design and animation.
Yeah, I wanted Persona because Persona is literally the most stylish game I've ever played. That's a great word for it. It also works great for art direction because every frame of Persona is designed to be stylish. Like the battles, when it finishes, like the text and everything just like flows great. Like every single movement the characters make is like purposefully like cool. You know, it's very cool looking. But yeah, Cuphead totally deserves it. Best narrative, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Nier Automata, Horizon Zero Dawn, Wolfenstein 2, and What Remains of Edith Finch. And Bryce will be happy to know what won.
Yeah, I called this. I almost wanted to vote for Edith Finch for every category, but I knew there was one category it deserved to win, and that was best narrative, because it handles its narrative so great throughout. Just the way that they tell the story, the different gameplay elements that you do, and just the kind of journey you go on is so good that they totally deserved it. Don't you agree, Darian?
Because
Yes.
she played it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very good.
Very good.
Great. Thanks for that backup.
Sorry, I'm kind of checking out. I haven't eaten in like 5 hours, and I'm just like,
I feel that.
it's been more than that.
After this, I have Pizza Hut leftovers in the fridge. I'm gonna heat those up. I'm gonna watch some of The Office. It's gonna be great. I gotta go back to work on Tuesday, but tomorrow I don't.
I'm just gonna make hamburger helper and go to bed.
I'm gonna probably make some beef stew and watch
Nice.
anime.
Nice. That's a good life right there. Best game direction: Wolfenstein 2, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, Horizon Zero Dawn, or Super Mario Odyssey. Guess who won? Best game direction, awarded to a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovative in-game direction and design. Zelda.
I mean, it kind of makes it. They broke the mold of what you would expect from them.
From a Zelda, yeah. I on this one, like game direction, if there's anything I'm gonna give Zelda, it's gonna be that. So I was like, I want Zelda to win this one too. And then game of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Whoo! What's gonna be? It's crazy. Who would have guessed this one? All right, recognizing
Pokemon
a
Go.
game. Oh, the surprise twist of the year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. And we're gonna have Jerry take over. Jerry, the Christmas Beaver, if you guys forgot, we're gonna have him take over for this one. So the nominees are
Please stop.
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the
No.
Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn. You see Teddy Chairs here, this guy right here, this loser. He wanted Horizon Zero Dawn. I wanted Horizon Zero Dawn, but Jerry, tell me what won, bud? The Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild won Game of the Year. Jerry's very excited about it, and I guess this from when it came out. I was like, nothing's gonna beat this for the end of the year.
I thought it was gonna be Odyssey.
Outlets.
PlayerUnknown's Battleground, it had an obvious bias, so there's no way it won. I'm surprised it even made the nominations. Persona 5, I think people like that, but I don't think anyone would pick it Game of the Year. So it's either going to be Legend of Zelda, Odyssey, or Horizon Zero Dawn. And honestly, I think when you do Game Awards, there's a bias to if it's
Nintendo.
If it came out recently, you're more likely to remember it and think well of it than something that came out a while ago.
I think people say that, and then like actual results don't really say that. You know what I mean? Like Zelda won. I feel like Overwatch came out earlier in the year. Overwatch won last year. It didn't come out like in the fall. I'm pretty sure.
It came out in like February, didn't it?
Yeah, I think either that or the summer. I think it was the summer.
It was.
And to the Google.
Maybe it was August.
May
24th.
May 24th. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I hear that a lot, and for the most part, I mean, it makes sense. Usually, I agree, but then it's like, is that true? You know, does science back this up? Do you have the scientific method, Bryce? Have you applied it? Has it become a theory, then a hypothesis? Nope. Hypothesis, then a theory, then a law?
Yes, I have the law of video games. What was cool is the fact that they the DLC for Breath of the Wild came out that night. So it's like, hey, go play more of the game that won. And you
Game of the Year.
Yeah, do sweet motorcycle stunts.
God, that was so ridiculous. I saw a bunch of videos on Twitter the next day of people like, this is just me showing the horses who's boss. And it's them at like a stable just spitting in the motorcycle. That's great.
So that was, your recap of the Game Awards.
That's the Game Awards right there.
Why is Persona 5 in these?
What?
Isn't it for the 2017 release?
Yeah. 2017
Persona
release.
5 came out in 2016.
In Japan.
When did it come out for NA?
April, I think.
Really?
Because it was originally supposed to be February. And then they pushed it. I think. I think it's April. I don't know. But it was originally supposed to be February. It was supposed to be Valentine's Day in America. Then they were like, nah.
Aww, that'd be the most romantic game.
I was happy with most of the results of the Game Awards. It was pretty fun to watch. It was definitely a little bit too long. We'll throw that out there. Felt like it was around 3 hours at a certain point, and I was like, all right, let's wrap it up and go home, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still a little bit bummed how they do some of the awards at the Game Awards. I know that you have to have the ads and whatnot, so you can't, and the world reveals, so you can't fully do this, but there's so many awards that they were like, they would call up an award, and then while the person's walking over, there would be VO that's like, and Persona 5 also won in this category and this category. All right. And I'm like, hello? Could we, or they would just announce some, just like with VO like that, just kind of randomly.
Well, I think after a commercial break, he ended up coming out and just like announcing the winners of like 3 awards, just like this one, this one, boom.
He did like 4 in the pre-show.
Yeah, it was like
before it had started. So I'm not a big fan of that, and I'm glad the music acts were a lot better this time because they weren't super long, and the actual like music, the orchestra, the video game tribute that they did was awesome. It was really good. So yeah, I enjoyed the Game Awards. Watch it next year. Vote for what's 2016? Vote or 2018. Vote for Spider-Man. Gonna tell you that right now. All right. Anyways.
But for more Game of the Year type stuff, we will be doing our Game of the Year discussion early 2018. So stay tuned for that episode. We'll have some guests in here, and we'll figure out what is our Game of the Year.
Jerry the Christmas Beaver will not be making a return. He'll probably be over there just chilling. He was today's special guest, okay? He's getting too much of the spotlight in the light. Okay.
Anyway, that brings us to questions. Do you want to be part of the show? Go to ReadySetGamecast/submit to submit a question or a comment to be read on the show. We have one question sent in, but it's by a little bit of a famous figure. You probably have heard of him. We got a special write-in. Mr. Santa Claus wrote in and asks, "What do you want for Christmas?" Darian.
Let me just pull up my Christmas list here.
Oh, while you're pulling that up.
How much time do I have? I got a few things.
Well, what do you got? Let's hear. It was the top of the list.
I don't know. I want an Apple Watch really bad, but I don't think anybody's gonna get me an Apple Watch. So cool socks, which we didn't talk about. You posted that article in the news, and I was like, "Oh God, I can't wait to talk about this." We didn't talk about it.
There was a Splatoon thing of sweaters versus socks for like.
Oh, a Splatfest?
Yeah, for Christmas gifts, and I was like, "Well, the Splatfest already ended. Let me see who won."
Because like,
yeah, an Apple Watch.
I did legit ask for cool socks from my parents and David's parents both.
Just get me socks. Oh. I literally made a Christmas list, by the way, because my parents asked me for like a couple of things, and then I made like literally they're like, "What are like 2 things you want for Christmas?" And I'm like, "Here's a list of 12." Are they gonna get me more than 2? Probably not. But you know, one can hope.
My dad does this thing where he'll get me like one big gift, and then like 2 or 3 little gifts.
Yeah. I remember one year I tried to convince them to get me I think it worked. I was wanting a computer, and I was like, "Guys, if we get it on sale right now, it'll be like basically a little over like what you would spend on a bunch of stuff, you know what I mean? So just get me this and only this." And I wore them down eventually, but it took a while. They were not about it. They want the traditional, like, you know, back when I was a kid at least. Now they don't want to get me anything. You know what I'm saying? So, Bryce, who won the Splatfest?
I have
2017 sweaters
no
versus
idea.
socks.
There was a YouTube video that was like, "Here's the results," and then it is just like a video of him picking out his gear.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure I saw Nintendo tweet this earlier today. So
I saw Viking
sweaters won. Congratulations.
Okay. There we go.
Get wrecked. I would have voted for socks. So
you would have fought for the socks.
I would have fought for the socks.
Well, it was actually, I think, which one's the worst? Which one would you rather
Which
not?
would you rather
sweaters,
ask
yeah.
for?
Yeah. So
yeah,
the article says, "Which would you rather ask for?" Which one would you rather receive?
I would rather receive socks.
Yeah, I'd rather have socks. I don't really wear sweaters.
Yeah, me neither. Bro, I want just love.
Gross.
I want 1,000 followers on twitch.tv/JeddieGeneris for Christmas. Thanks, guys. Lol.
Aren't you doing like a 24-hour stream if you get that?
Yeah, in 10 years at this rate.
No. You'll hit 1,000 before you even realize it. And then it'll be like, all right, next one, and that's when you'll slow down. How long have you been streaming?
A year in June.
On this account. He's got a secret account that no one knows about.
That no one followed me for, and I also streamed to that account for like a year.
But there is
But I was a young little boy, you know. Little naive boy. I didn't know the keys to success.
There's a VOD on there of young Teddy. And speaking of young
It's
Teddy,
true. I was very young.
Speaking of young Teddy, I just wanna say happy birthday to a young man called Teddy Chineris, who has just turned 21 years old.
It's true.
Teddy's the baby.
Yeah. Some lucky friends of his got to see photos of Teddy in Boy Scouts and as a young kid. And those definitely were not saved for blackmail purposes at a later date.
Oh no!
Super duper not.
Oh no! Yeah, I was a Boy Scout, man. Was it a bad idea? Yes, absolutely it was. Did I still do it? Yes. Did my parents make me? Probably, yeah.
What do I want? Probably just like a Steam gift card or more video games.
Ooh, yeah.
In all seriousness, I literally made a Christmas list because my parents asked me for a couple of things, and I was like, "Here's a big list." But yeah, I put on a 32 gigabyte Fire HD Amazon Fire because as a big old tablet, I want to read comics. Because if I have a tablet, I'll read comics more often because I don't like the only time I ever buy comics or when I go randomly to a comic shop and I just get a trade and I'm like, all right, but I don't like keep up with any comic books, but I would love to like read one weekly, you know what I mean? That'd be cool. So I figured I'd throw that on there. And then other than that, I have like PSN cards, Switch stuff. I put in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but my parents actually got me that for my birthday. So, you know. Oh, Avatar The Last Airbender, the complete series, because it's my favorite show of all time, and I somehow, this many years later, still don't own the complete series. Well, the reason is because it was on Netflix.
At this point. What are you doing?
I've watched the show literally 9 times, dog.
I'm saying I've purchased the complete series twice. What are you doing?
I'm watching it on Netflix and Amazon Prime TV because it was free in both of those places. And, like, why would I need to buy it? And then they took it off of Amazon. So now I'm like, well, shit, what do I do for my next rewatch? So, gonna get it on DVD. Weird that they haven't remastered that show for Blu-ray. I think they should. That would be awesome.
Didn't they just do Korra for that?
What?
They just redid Korra and Blu-ray, didn't they?
Well, it wasn't redone for Blu-ray because Korra came out in the modern times, unlike Avatar. Avatar is still standard definition. I'm pretty sure. Like, it's not widescreen. It's like... Yeah. But yeah. A bunch of other stuff on here. I got, like, Baby Driver Blu-ray and some weird stuff like that. But yeah. Cool. I just want love, you know?
I hope everybody gets what they want for Christmas. Except Teddy and his weird love. Nobody loved Teddy in 2017.
Yep.
That brings us to the end of the show.
Food.
Remember, go to ReadySetGamecast.com for links to the podcast and all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on youtube.com/LastGeek. And if you like this show or anything about this show, that cat that Darian's currently holding and is playing with her hair, or Teddy's weird...
Jerry the Christmas Beaver.
Yeah, please go on iTunes and Stitcher and subscribe, rate, and review it. It helps us grow and become more powerful.
Don't do that.
It's just an excuse to flex every episode. Darian, where can people find you?
Probably in the hospital shortly if he attacks me again. Twitch.tv/dexterity, DEXTERIDEE. I'm at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, the same name. Yeah.
Teddy?
Twitter at, Teddy Chinaris, or more importantly, twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris. Normally I stream Mondays through Thursdays, 7 to 11, and Fridays and Saturdays usually are 10 to 12 Central Time. This is all in Central Time. But I'm on Christmas break, so I don't have to work on those specific days, so I don't have to do that. So it's Mondays through Saturdays, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time. Every day except Sunday, 4 hours a day. Stop on by. What day does this go live? Tuesday? Tuesday. Watch me, come on down and watch me attempt to get 5 people together for a raid lair and then get mad at my friends because they don't show up. Woo!
Nice.
What about you, Bryce? Where can they find you?
Twitter, Last Geek. Twitch, Last Geek Plays. Instagram, Last Geek Plays. LastGeek.com. YouTube. .com/LastGeek. I think that's all of them. Yeah. So
Nice.
I feel like I'm supposed to have more, but I can't remember all the social media things. Go to MySpace, just search for whatever.
Find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Find me on Tinder.
So
Kappa,
this will be the last show that comes out in 2017.
Oh my god.
It has been really cool doing this. Every 2 weeks, coming, sharing the news, sharing our opinion with you guys, and I'm really happy to see all the listeners that have checked out the podcast, who've joined us on the show. Shout out to Super Killer Bunny and Matt A. Plays, and really looking forward to doing this again in 2018. So thank you, and see you next year.
Peace out. Happy New Year. And all that. Merry Christmas. It's really just Merry Christmas. That's what I should say.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Wow.
And happy holidays.
Hanukkah? How could you
Well,
be
I
so
mean,
hateful?
you know what I'm saying. You know.
Wow.
God damn it. Happy holidays, I guess.
Okay. Bye.